There is a tiny little plant, smaller than your thumb, sitting in the produce section of your grocery store right now. Most people walk right past it, but researchers at Johns Hopkins spent over 30 years studying it, and what they found stopped the entire scientific community cold. This plant has the power to wake up your body's own repair crews, the microscopic stem cells that rebuild your muscles, your blood, your organs, the ones that have quietly been going to sleep inside you since you turned 60. I will show you exactly what this food is and how to use it. But if you skip ahead without understanding why your stem cells went dormant in the first place, this will not work in your body. So stay with me. The next few minutes could genuinely change the way you feel every single morning. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah. Welcome to the Senior Health Podcast. If you're new here, I'm a geriatric specialist, and this channel is my way of fighting for you because I believe your body has been written off far too soon. Now, before we go any further, I need to tell you about Walter. Walter was 71 years old when I first met him. Retired mechanic, 32 years under cars, hands like sandpaper, the good kind, the kind that come from a life of actually doing things. But when I saw Walter in my clinic, his hands were just still, resting in his lap, not doing anything at all. You see, Walter had a garden in his backyard, 8 raised beds, tomatoes, peppers, zucchini, the whole thing. He built every one of those beds himself after his wife Margaret passed. That garden was the first thing that made him get out of bed every morning. And then, over about 2 years after 60, he started waking up so exhausted, muscles aching, joints stiff, everything just slow to respond, that the garden became impossible. He stopped going out there. The beds went to weeds. He told me, "Dr. Sarah, I feel like my body just forgot how to fix itself." And here's what broke my heart. He was right. His body had forgotten, not because of some unavoidable fate, but because of a very specific, very fixable breakdown happening inside his cells. And once I showed Walter what was causing it and what to eat every single morning, everything changed. I'm going to share exactly what I showed him with you right now. Before I show you the protocol, I need you to understand why this is happening. And here is what honestly frustrates me every single day as a doctor. Most physicians will look at a patient like Walter, a patient in real, measurable decline, and say, "Well, you're 70. What do you expect?" That is lazy medicine. That is an excuse. What's happening to your body is not a mystery. It's a mechanical failure, and I can describe it exactly. Inside your bones, in the spongy marrow, you have tiny, powerful cells called stem cells. Think of them as your body's repair crews. They make fresh blood. They rebuild muscle. They patch up your gut lining. They are, quite literally, the reason a cut heals and a bruise fades. When you were 40, you had millions of them working in rotating shifts day and night, active, ready. But here's what happens after 60. First, your stem cells shrink in number and go quiet. They enter a kind of deep, forced sleep called senescence. Second, a critical fuel molecule inside your cells called NAD+, the molecule that powers your cellular energy engines, drops by up to 50%. Without that fuel, even the stem cells you still have cannot wake up and divide. And third, your tissue fills up with what scientists now call zombie cells, old, damaged cells that refuse to die. They sit there, rotting, and they spray toxic chemicals onto your healthy stem cells, poisoning the very neighborhood where your repair crews are trying to work. Now here's the metaphor that made Walter's eyes go wide when I explained it. Picture the garden in his backyard. The seeds are still there. The seed packets, your stem cells, are still in the shed, but the soil is exhausted. Dead stalks from last year are still sitting on top, choking everything. Those are your zombie cells. The underground water line has rusted shut. That's your NAD+ deficit. And the whole bed is so compacted, nothing new can push through. You don't need new seeds. You don't need surgery. You need to restore the conditions that let the old seeds wake up. And that is exactly what this food does. Researchers at Aging Cell Journal published a study in 2020 that showed one natural plant compound restored muscle stem cell activation and cardiac function in aged subjects in just weeks. I want you to hear that again. Restored. Muscle stem cell activation not slowed the decline, restored it. Not surgery, not an injection. A compound found in a plant at your grocery store. All right, let's get into the protocol. This is the part that changed Walter's life, and it starts the moment you wake up. Morning remedy number 1, the Sprout Power Bowl. The hero ingredient is broccoli sprouts. Not broccoli florets, sprouts. The tiny 3 to 5 day old seedlings. They look like thin little tails with 2 pale green leaves. 1 tablespoon of these sprouts contains up to 50 times more of the active compound, sulforaphane, than a full serving of mature broccoli. That's not a typo. Here is how you make the bowl. Sitting at your kitchen table or in your chair, no standing required. Take 2 tablespoons, that's about 10 grams or 1/3 of an ounce, of fresh broccoli sprouts. Add them to half a cup, that's 120 grams, of plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. Top with half a cup of fresh or thawed frozen strawberries, that's about 75 grams. Then drizzle 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil over the whole thing. The olive oil is not optional. Fat actually helps your body absorb the sulforaphane. Skip the fat and you lose up to 40% of the benefit. Now, this part is critical. You must chew slowly, at least 15 chews per bite. I know that sounds strange for a bowl of yogurt, but chewing is what ruptures the sprout cells and releases the enzyme, myrosinase, that converts the dormant compounds into active sulforaphane. Rush through it and you waste most of the benefit. What will you feel? Within the first week, most people notice the morning stiffness starts to ease faster. A brighter, more alert feeling before 9 a.m. Walter told me he noticed his hands felt less like dead weight within 8 days. One safety note: if you take warfarin or a blood thinner, eat a consistent amount of sprouts each day and tell your anticoagulation clinic. If you're on thyroid medication, take your pill first and wait 4 hours before eating the sprouts. And if you take diabetes medication, monitor your blood sugar in the first 2 weeks, as sulforaphane can lower glucose on its own. Morning remedy number 2, the 14-hour reset. Now, you don't have to do anything unusual for this one. In fact, you do most of it in your sleep. It's called the 14-hour fasting window. Here is all you do. Stop eating by 7 p.m. tonight. Then, when you wake up, drink 12 to 16 ounces, that's 350 to 475 milliliters, of plain water, black coffee, or plain tea. No milk, no sweetener. Not yet. Then wait until 9 a.m. to eat your first meal, your Sprout Power Bowl. That's it. You've just given your body a 14-hour window with no incoming food. Why does this matter? Dr. Walter Longo's lab at USC, one of the world's leading longevity research centers, showed that fasting cycles directly stimulate your hematopoietic stem cells to regenerate. Your body uses the quiet of the fasting window to activate autophagy, the process of cleaning out your zombie cells and freeing up the stem cell niche. You are literally clearing the dead garden stalks in your sleep. Important. If you are on insulin, sulfonylureas, or any medication that lowers blood sugar, do not start a fasting window without talking to your doctor first. Your medication dose may need adjusting to avoid a dangerous drop in blood sugar. Morning remedy number 3, the belly fire breath. The last morning step takes 3 minutes. You can do it right in your chair before you even stand up. It's called diaphragmatic or belly breathing. Place one palm flat on your belly just below your navel. The other palm rests on your chest. Now breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Feel your belly hand rise while your chest hand stays still. Hold for 2 counts. Then exhale through pursed lips for 6 counts. Feel the belly hand fall. Do 10 of these cycles. This is not just relaxation. Slow, controlled belly breathing activates your vagus nerve, which directly reduces the inflammatory signaling that feeds your zombie cells. You are turning down the toxic spray that was poisoning your stem cell niche with nothing but air. Now, this next part is my absolute favorite. These are the things you'll do tonight, right in your bed, right before you close your eyes. They are gentle, they are calming, and your body will do the heavy cellular repair work while you sleep. Night remedy number 1, the golden repair drink. About 90 minutes before bed, warm up 1 cup, 240 milliliters or 8 fluid ounces of whole milk or unsweetened soy milk. Stir in 2 tablespoons, 14 grams or half an ounce of raw wheat germ. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of honey. Sip it slowly in bed. Wheat germ is one of the richest food sources of spermidine on Earth. Spermidine is a natural compound that triggers autophagy, that same cleanup process, from the other direction. While your fasting window clears the dead stalks by morning, spermidine wakes up the same pathway by night. It is like watering the garden at dusk, right before the growing hours. Skip this if you have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. Wheat germ contains gluten. If you're diabetic, skip the honey and use a tablespoon of natural nut butter instead. Night remedy number 2, the 4-7-8 cellular repair breath. Lying flat on your back, pillow under your head, knees slightly elevated on a second pillow if that helps your lower back. Do this. Exhale fully. Then inhale through the nose for 4 counts. Hold for 7. Exhale through your mouth with a soft whoosh for 8 counts. That's 1 cycle. Do 4 cycles. This is the breath that drops your cortisol low enough that your body shifts into true repair mode overnight. Cortisol, your stress hormone, is one of the chemicals that suppresses stem cell niche function. Drive it down and your overnight repair window opens wide. Night remedy number 3, the gentle spine release. Still lying in bed, draw your right knee gently toward your chest. Hands behind the thigh, not the kneecap. Hold for 20 seconds while breathing through your nose. Lower it slowly. Then the left knee, 20 seconds. Then both knees together, 20 seconds. 2 full rounds. That is about 4 minutes total. This gentle movement at night mobilizes stem cells from your bone marrow into your bloodstream and supports the lymph flow that clears toxic SAS chemicals overnight. You are, in the gentlest possible way, opening the garden gate. Now, knowing my audience, I know exactly what some of you are thinking right now. So let me answer the 3 questions I hear most. Question 1. Dr. Sarah, what if I'm on blood thinners or diabetes medication? This is exactly the right thing to ask. For blood thinners, keep your sprout intake consistent every day and check in with your anticoagulation clinic. For diabetes medication, monitor your blood sugar in the first 2 weeks because sulforaphane has its own modest glucose-lowering effect. These protocols are powerful precisely because they work on real biology, which means your prescribing doctor needs to know you're doing them. Question 2. I'm 82 years old. Is it too late for me? It is not too late. The 2022 JAMA Network Open Trial on urolithin A, a compound derived from pomegranates that works through the same stem cell pathway, enrolled adults aged 65 to 90, and it showed measurable improvements in muscle endurance in that entire age range. Your cells have not given up. They are waiting for the right signal. Question 3. I've tried everything. Why would this be different? Because most things you've tried were aimed at the symptom, not the source. Pain pills, supplements, hot packs, none of them address the fact that your stem cell niche is choked with zombie cells and running on empty fuel. What we're doing today goes upstream, all the way to the factory floor. And I want to be completely transparent with you right now. I am a doctor, but I am not your doctor in this video. These protocols are powerful. I've seen them work on Walter and on many patients I care for personally, but they do not replace your individual medical care. Please, always talk to your physician before starting anything new. And whatever you do, never stop any medication suddenly without your doctor's direct guidance. Okay, before I let you go, there is one thing I desperately need to warn you about. This is the mistake that will undo everything we just covered. And I promise you, almost every person watching this right now is making this mistake. Every single day. It's ibuprofen, Advil, Aleve, naproxen. The little orange and blue pills tens of millions of seniors take every day for arthritis and back pain. Here is the mechanism, and this is critical. Your body makes a molecule called prostaglandin E2, or PGE2. Most people have only heard of PGE2 as a pain and inflammation chemical. But PGE2 is also the wake-up signal your body uses to activate stem cells. It binds directly to your muscle satellite cells and your hematopoietic stem cells and says, "It's time. Divide, repair." When you take ibuprofen or naproxen every day, you block the COX enzyme, and PGE2 collapses. The pain drops, but so does the wake-up signal. Your stem cell repair pulse is silenced. 3 studies published in Nature and PNAS confirm that daily NSAID use directly blunted stem cell expansion after exercise and disrupted bone marrow stem cell retention. Remember the garden metaphor? Daily NSAIDs are the equivalent of turning off the water just when the seeds are trying to germinate. You can do everything else right: the sprout bowl, the fasting window, the night breath, and this one pill habit will cancel most of it out. The simple fix. For daily pain management, ask your doctor about switching to acetaminophen, Tylenol, up to 3 grams per day, which does not suppress PGE2, or a topical diclofenac gel. Save the ibuprofen for short, acute flares, 3 to 5 days maximum, and never take it in the 24 hours around a movement or exercise session. That is the exact window your stem cells are waiting for the PGE2 signal. So remember, your stem cells are not gone. They are sleeping. The Sprout Power Bowl wakes them up. The 14-hour reset clears the toxic niche. And the Golden Repair Drink feeds the overnight cleanup crew. Start tonight with the Wheat Germ Drink and the 478 Breath. Your body will thank you by morning. Now, to protect your heart and your circulation and keep your independence for the years ahead, you need to watch the video I put together for you right here on your screen. I'll see you there.